Welcome to the demo for the Invoice Management System. So when you load with the application, you will be prompted with this page where you need to log in. So let's start with the login first. After signing in, you will be redirected to this dashboard page where you have all of the options to create quotation form, create invoice form, create the delivery note, view all the products in the product catalog, view all the documents history, and the address book for all of the customers. So let's start with the quotation form. So the quotation form have separate uh, input fields. So first the send type, we can select the send type, and we can search for customers if we want, and also we can, if you want to change those customer details, you can do that in here. You can change any details in here, and also you can change the form report details, the additional note, and also change the issue date. And these customer number and quotation number are immutable, so you can't change those numbers. Below you can see the product details. You can search for products and enter the quantity. And on the right side, you can see the subtotal and the tax amount for the product. So if there's a 7% tax amount product, that particular tax amount will be shown here, and the total bill will be shown here. Also, you can add a discount if you want for the particular bill, and all of the details will be perfectly calculated below here. And if you press on save quotation, you can save this quotation as a draft, which will be in the history page where you can open and edit it later. And if you press on issue quotation, the quotation will be issued, saved in the database, and there will be a PDF generated like this where you can print it or save it for later, and do whatever the thing you want with this PDF. And the quotation will be prompted to this history page where you can see the history of the quotations, all of the quotations created in this application, all of the invoices created in this application, and the delivery notes created in this application. You can filter these data through here by customer, by payment statuses, by the date, by the status where it is finished or is it still in draft, and the payment methods. So if you if you create a quotation in draft, there will be a pencil icon here where you can edit the draft whenever you want, and you can change those things, and you can issue this quotation. No, you can issue this quotation. So you can delete this quotation, and also you can duplicate this quotation for a future use. So let's assume I need this particular quotation. I need to duplicate it, and I need to issue it to another customer. So the details are here. I'm just going to change the customer name, and we can change this data and issue another quotation which we can use for another customer. And if you don't want a quotation, you can always delete it from here. And if your quotation has been accepted by your customer and you need to create an invoice for it, you can always use this button to copy all the data to an invoice page and use this data to create an invoice for this particular customer. Also, you can change the data whenever you want, and you can issue the invoice. So the invoice page is also going to be the same as the quotation page, except this is an invoice bill. You can always save the invoice if you are going to work with it in another time, or you can always issue this invoice. So when the invoice is issued, the PDF will be generated here with all the details where you can print and you can save this PDF. So you can also copy any invoice you want. You can duplicate any invoice you want. And if the customer rejected your invoice and you need to create a negative invoice for that one, you can always use this negative button here. So let's just assume I'm creating a negative invoice for this particular invoice number. I just need to press on this button, and after this confirmation, you can see that a negative invoice for this particular invoice has been created on top. So you can always delete this one, you can always print it again. And if the customer ever pays you and you need to update the payment status of a invoice, you can always press this button and there will be a input field prompted here. You can enter the amount that the customer has paid you and press enter to update the payment amount. So the payment amount has been successfully updated. And the next thing is the delivery note. So you can always issue a delivery note to the customer when you are creating a delivery. So let's just create using this one. You can always save this as a draft and also issue this delivery note on from using this top button. Okay, so this will be the layout for the delivery note. You can print this or you can save this for later. So next we can take a look at the products page. So here you can see all of the products, all of their tax amounts, and you can take actions on these products like edit the product, you can delete the product, and also on top here in this model you can always add a product. So let's just add a test product. I'm going to select the tax. So as you can see, the product has been added here with all of the details that have been filled. Next, we can take a look at the address book. So in the address book, you can see all of the customer details, the type of the customer, the contact details, the location, and you can also take actions on these customers. You can always edit their details, and if you don't want a customer, you can always delete it. And also you can add the customer using this particular button. There will be a model prompted here, and using this model you can always add a new customer to the customer pool. So that is the presentation demo for this particular application, which is the invoice management system. I hope I have covered all of the necessary details regarding this application. Thank you.